Hello, thank you for joining tonight. We're having a business meeting in the main Wednesday night. So I just wanted to share a little something with you. If you will indulge me and let me, I'm not going to talk about politics. So, man, I want to, but I'm not going to. Pray for our nation. I will say that. Pray for. I think everyone has hands on this issue, and Republicans and Democrats, I wish they could work together and get this thing worked out, because I can tell you there's going to be a lot. We're going to see far-reaching effects financially and with families on this. Whether SNAP gets, and they may salvage SNAP, I'm not, getting there. But I will ask you, we have a food pantry. I think it's going to be heavily used by our local community and neighborhood. So if you feel led to make a donation to it, not as much money as people bring canned goods, non-perishables, things like that. We can always use those. I think we're going to see more and more food boxes going out. That's not what I want to talk about tonight, though. What I want to talk about tonight is my other taboo topic, which is college football. And not going to talk about the chickens and the kitty cats. I'm going to talk a little bit about LSU. And of course, going to seminary in New Orleans, I had a lot of my kids in the church that I served in New Orleans that went to LSU. So that has a little bit of a special place in my heart. And if you're familiar with college football, or maybe you're not, there's a man named Brian Kelly who coached at Notre Dame, and LSU stole him away from Notre Dame when they fired Coach O, and so he's been there, and he very kind of suddenly was, well, we feel like he was 5-3 on the season and they fired him. You got a coach with a winning record. Now, granted, he's not undefeated, and there's high expectations. I've read a lot of stuff about this, but I read something today that I just want to check with you on and make sure that we're not doing this. Make sure that we're not doing this one in the church. Okay. Why would you fire a coach that's 5-3? Yes, he's not going to qualify for a national championship, probably out of contention for an SEC championship with a 5-3 record at this point. I guess I'm not as much of an SEC fan, but I read an article where someone who knows him well, who had refrained from saying any of this until now, said, the issue that everybody's overlooking is he was checked out. Is he at the height of recruiting, when coaches are on the recruiting trail and they're talking with players, talking with families, he was on a beach. He was checked out. He was giving part of his heart to this job, but not all of it. And so it got him fired. So here's my question to you, church. John 13, 34 through 35. Are you checked out on God's kingdom? Are you jaded right now because of what's going on in Congress and all that stuff? It's easy to get jaded. I will tell you, the dismantling of our agricultural, man, we got some farmers going to be struggling, and maybe not nationally, you're going to see farmers struggling. And so food prices are going to go up. There's going to be a ripple effect. So if we allowed that to jade us so much that we're phoning it in now, even here at church. John 13, 34 through 35, I give you these words of Jesus, where he said, a new commandment I give you, that you love one another, even as I've loved you, that you also love one another. He didn't say if, he didn't say I'm asking you to do this. He said it's a commandment. Love one another the way I've loved you, that you also love one another. By this all men will know you're my disciples, if you have love for one another. So here's the deal, guys and girls. We're to love fellow Christians. We're to love people who don't believe the way we do. We're to love them so much we're supposed to tell them. We are to love them the way Jesus loved us, he said, which is sacrificial. Jesus loved you so much he laid down his life for you. Here's another one. Verse 35, by this all men will know that you're my disciples if you have love for one. They're going to know if you belong to me, Jesus said, if you have love for one another. If you don't, if you're always out there shouting people down, if you're always out there, talking about how awful other people are to make you feel better about yourself, they're going to know that you're not a disciple. If you use the logical inverse of verse 35, they're going to know you're not a disciple if you don't love. Choice is yours. Hope you have a great day, great week. We'd love to see you Sunday.